Hey everyone, welcome to week 12. I can't believe it. We're just about 3/4 of the way through the semester, and this is the end of the third unit, and I think it's going to be a beautiful dramatic ending to this one. I'm looking forward to seeing your sculptures and then doing the last project, but meantime, what are we going to do this week? This week, there's a few small things for you to get done that are all, they're pretty quick tasks, and all have to do with helping you to think about what you're going to do this week creatively, which is work on your sculpture. You've roughed out your bust, and now the main part of this week, it's kind of a reprieve. There's no reading. There's a few things to look over, but no reading and stuff, but some cool videos. But mainly, what I want you to do is work on your sculptures and consider what your concept is for your sculpture, what your theme is, what that attitude is going to be with your sculpture. That's the main part of it. All right, let's go down through the list of what you can see on your side. I have a lecture there on scale, and it's part of the ongoing deal that we're doing on formalism, and I thought to do scale and context this week, but it's just too much. And so I just did scale, and that's enough to think about for 1 week, and in a week or two I'll talk to you about context. And I think probably next week, because I think it'll be really appropriate for you to think about context as you're thinking about, how do I finish the sculpture I'm working on, right? What do I want to do to it? Anyways, my lecture's on scale, and there's a little bit of a response to that. It's, like 14 minutes, pretty easy to watch, and you can slow it down and stop it as much as you want to get, examples. But what it does is show you how to do your R&D, and your R&D is to get examples of scale in the 4 different scale sizes, or small scale, pedestal scale, human scale, and then large scale. And the video will make it so clear. It's like, okay, I get it. And you're going to go find original examples of those and post them together with one word or one phrase that you feel is the content, attitude, point of view, however you want to phrase it. You feel it's what that work was about in one word or one phrase, and post it with it. It doesn't have to be correct, or it's your opinion. But tell in one word or one phrase. I want you to think about what was that person doing? What were they saying when they made that piece? All right, you get it, right? It's easy. It's fun. I did it this week preparing for this, and I had a good time. All right, so that's your R&D. The demo this week. Mark makes a sculpture. Woo! So you can watch me, but you have so many examples of other people sculpting that take advantage of that, and look at Mark if you want, but please at least look over. It's quick. But also there's Christina Cordova, there's Tip Tolan. There's so many people out there that just nail the figure. You do not have to do. I want to make this clear. Your final sculpture does not have to be a realistic rendering. I hope I'm clear on that. I want it to be a bust form, human or humanoid. It's like a bust of some kind. But if it's part animal or whatever, fine. If it's part alien, you get to decide. I want you to take this seriously, but I don't want you to be worried about it being really anatomically correct. Does that make sense? I want you to have fun with it. I want you to explore its expressive nature, more than it being, an exact replica of something. We did the experiment of exact, replicas while you were doing, your warm-ups, when you were doing your maquette, and when you were doing the eyes, ears, nose, and mouths and stuff. And that's valuable to do. But now that you're making your sculpture, for example, one student showed me pictures. She's doing a frog, but it's a badass frog. It is It's a frog, just, a middle-aged woman frog, got a really cool outfit, and she's like giving us the finger. It's just like, it's amazing. It's this cool attitude, you'd think. Anyways, it's a cool piece. She did a great job on all the maquettes, and she did a great job on all the features, but she wanted to do this thing. And I'm like, go, great, it's wonderful. I mean, it's not going to be teeny, she's going to make it, about melon size. Great. So I hope I'm clear on that there's leeway with this. You don't need to get all stressed out about your sculpture looking perfect. I mean, there's a few people that have called and talked to me and like, I'm not doing this well enough. I'm like, relax. We were doing an experiment in sculpting. You were trying that on. You were seeing how well you could make an ear and all this stuff. You did learn a bunch of stuff. Now you're going to make a bust, and you're going to be focused not on an accuracy of perfectly rendering something, but you're going to focus on its expressive nature and on having an idea behind it, right? Like the frog with the dressing, she's got a definite idea about what that's about. I want you to have a definite attitude, point of view, content of what your piece is about, because we want to talk about that at the end. Okay. Enough said. That's what this week is about. If you go down through after that, there's a few videos we've talked about different artists in lectures and stuff. One of my friends and a guy that I love him. Seriously. He's like my adopted grandfather in one way. Richard Shaw. And there's a nice video of Richard talking and telling you, Richard lives in Fairfax, and he's what a nice person and a great artist. So anyways, video on Richard, and you can read that, not read it, watch it. A brief video or brief quiz. Easy to do if you watch the video. Same thing on Ron Nagel. I never run that. I met him once. That's about it. But I know students that have went and taken classes with him. He's got attitude, man. He's has opinions, and he'll tell you about them. He likes to curse. Anyways, he's funny. And so watch this video, and maybe you'll pick up on some of that. Brief quiz. And then Viola Fry, a lovely video on Viola Fry making some of her work. And you'll pick up on it really quick that she had a stroke later in life, and actually more than one. And it really, as you know, it limited what she could do. She did not stop working, that woman. She kept going and made tons of work the last, decade or two of her life after, having to deal with that. Anyways, it shows you all about Viola, and you'll be able to do that. And that's just kind of fun stuff, and I hope that's entertaining and it expands your understanding of funk in this era we're studying. But as I said again, the main thing is watch my little video on scale. That's all cool, and it shows you some ideas about content. But your main task this week is to work on your sculptures. Okay, here's what I'm saying too, is that the deadline on that is, this Sunday, but I'm going to give you one extra week to work on that. But what I expect this week is that you put in at least 4 hours on it. At least 2 work sessions with 2 hours. You can't get anything done if you don't give yourself a couple hours. And that usually turns into more, but give yourself a couple work sessions of working on that and do the best you can. And at the end of this week, show me your progress, right? And then if you take a whole another week to finish it, that's perfectly fine. Next week is not going to be a huge week of clay work or anything else. I'm going to kind of give you a reprieve. The reason being, I want you to really focus on this and realize that, okay, I'm going to just work on this, and I'm going to get as far as I can this week. And at the end of this week, I'll just photograph my progress, and then I have a whole nother week to finish it. Okay? So next week I'll show you about making sure that it's hollowed out and all that kind of stuff, and jazz like that. And we will start the next unit. Easy peasy. We're not going to hit it like crazy hard. I want you to focus now on the creative aspect of this class, which is being an artist, working on your work. Okay. So that is it for this week. It's a relatively light week academically, but it's a robust week of you working on art at home and then documenting it. Okay. All right. I hope you're all well. And I hope that the stress of this last week is over for you. It's been a traumatic week, hasn't it? Think about y'all, and I sure enjoy seeing your work coming through in your progress. All right. Have a good week, and as always, give me a call if you want to talk. Email me. I'll get right back to you. Well, I'll get back in 24 hours. But if you would, if you need to Zoom at another time or whatever, we'll figure it out. If you need to be in contact with me and figure out what's going on with you and your assignments, please do so. We will figure things out. I want everybody to get the grade that they want to get from this class and start looking at it now. And if you need to be catching up or something, talk to me and say, hey, I need to figure this out. We will figure something out for you. Okay. Hope you're well, and we will talk to you soon.